Hi everyone, I'm Amy from Neurotic Mom Bakes and welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to be showing you my red velvet cake layers today. This is a perfect recipe to pair with any kind of frosting, particularly cream cheese frosting, which has been posted on my YouTube. But it's good with just vanilla buttercream, chocolate buttercream. And this one is really moist and fluffy and just a good no-fail recipe. So here we go. In this mixing bowl, I already have 2 cups of brown sugar. This recipe calls for brown sugar, not any white sugar. And to that, I'm going to add 2 sticks of butter. That's 1 cup, or 16 tablespoons. And I'm gonna mix that up. While that's mixing, I'm going to crack 3 eggs into here. I'm not adding the eggs yet. Here's an interesting fact that a lot of people don't know, but red velvet cake is actually a chocolate cake, but it uses light cocoa, so it's a mild or milk chocolate cake. Not like the chocolate cake you think of, the rich, dark, dense. It's a mild chocolate cake with red food coloring added. A lot of people don't know that. Okay, so this has come together. I'm going to add my red food gel. Red food gel. And you can add as little or as much as you want. Depending on how vibrant you want that red color. So I'm gonna, but it takes quite a bit. I would say a teaspoon to a tablespoon. But you can see that turn red. Just another little drop. And then while that is mixing, I'm gonna add 3 teaspoons of vanilla. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna add my eggs one at a time. Okay, at this point, I'm going to scrape my bowl down so you can see that nice red color. I added quite a bit this time. I really wanted the color to show through here on the video. I'm just going to kind of scrape down because that brown sugar can get kind of stuck along the bottom. Scrape it down, and then I'm going to whip this for a good minute or 2 until it's nice and light and fluffy. I'm going to get this off the top here too. Okay, while that's mixing, let me walk you through the dry ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need 3 cups of all-purpose flour. If you're at high altitude, add like 2 more tablespoons. That will help. You need a 1/2 cup of the light cocoa. I don't like the dark color because it takes away some of the red color. So I use the regular Hershey's cocoa, 1/2 cup of that, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, 1½ teaspoons of baking soda, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I've got that all in here. All right, that's looking good. And then I'm going to measure out 1 3/4 cup of buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you can just do milk. That will work. Right there, perfect. Or you can make buttermilk by adding lemon juice or vinegar, like a tablespoon per cup of milk. Let it sit for 5 minutes. That's a good buttermilk substitute. Okay, so right now I'm gonna alternate dry and wet ingredients back and forth, starting and ending with the dry ingredients on a very low speed. Making sure it mixes after each addition. Add a little bit of the buttermilk, about half of it. Rest of the dry ingredients. You don't want to totally overmix this. Mix it until it's all come together, just all come together, and then I'm going to give it a final couple stirs by hand. You can see though how that chocolate added in there just makes it that deep red color that's distinctive to the red velvet cake. I'm going to take this off. And this will fill 4 6-inch pans. And then depending on how thick or thin you want your cake layers, it'll fill 2 or 3 8-inch pans. If you want thinner layers, you could go 3. I'm going to scrape it down, give it a couple more stirs, and today I'm doing 6-inch pans. I'm doing 4 6-inch pans. This cake comes out of the pan really easily. You don't need parchment liner. I just use a cooking spray. It's perfect. Let's spray these lightly. Okay, these are going to go in a 350-degree oven for anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes, just kind of depending on your oven. I fill these about halfway full, and you will know they're finished when you can touch them and they spring back, and the cake starts to pull away from the sides of the pan. Or when you insert a toothpick, it comes out clean or with just a couple crumbs on it, not wet at all. Okay. This also converts really nicely over to cupcakes. I like to get an ice cream scoop and scoop them into my cupcake liners, fill them about a little over halfway full, and you will bake those for about half the time. 16 to 18 minutes generally works for cupcakes. Let's get out the air bubbles and just drop them a couple times. That looks good. Okay, we're gonna go in the oven. Okay, so now I have my cake layers out of the oven. I'm going to let them sit in the pan for about 10 minutes before pulling them out of the pan. And I just like to get a spatula and just run it around the side, and usually just pops right out. And to store these, so I always make my cake layers ahead of time. I rarely make cake the same day that I decorate a cake because the process is just so long. I would just be starting in the morning and finishing at night. So I always freeze my cake layers, and they stay perfectly fresh. You don't need to worry about freezing them, losing the moisture or anything inside. They really will last up to a month in your freezer and be just fine. So this is how I store them. First thing I will do is I will level my cake tops. I'll just get a serrated knife and get kind of eye level and just go all the way across. You can save these. These make great cake pop material. And then I've got some plastic wrap here. And I'll get a piece of parchment. This will help the cakes from sticking together when you go to pull them out of the freezer. And I'll stack up to 3 high, not more than 3 because the weight will start to smash the bottom layer. But I have 4 today, so I'm just gonna do 2 and 2. And I've got some plastic wrap. Just want to wrap it really well. And I will stick these right in my freezer for up to a month. I'm so happy you could join me here at Neurotic Mom Bakes. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of my red velvet cake. I'd love to hear your feedback, so if you try this out, make sure to comment and let me know how it worked out for you.